Hello, everybody, and welcome to Daytona International Speedway. For the first time ever in ADS history, we will be going racing. 42 drivers, new teams, old teams we've seen before, and some familiar teams as well will take to the high banks as they will battle for 40 laps to decide who will become the first Autozone Developmental Series race winner. Let's get through your starting lineup. On pole today is Patrick Raven. That's a new driver we'd never heard of. On a new team, Spears Racing. He won the pole a couple days ago. Sally Patrick to his outside. That's a familiar name. Radisson Racing making a return. Robert Phantom in the 07. Allen Motors, kind of related to Brandon Allen. That's the team his dad owns. And to his outside, Grace Sachs, given a full-time opportunity here. Ryan Scared in a Serpentine racing car. He will do the double, if you will. He will race in both RMS and ADS this season. And to his outside, Mark Millens in the 98 for Golden Empire Motorsports, I think. Or is it racing? I don't know. His teammate, Peter Onjek, in this row 4. And to his outside is Kyler Sistra in some new colors for him, Ford Quality Care. Row 5 is Jeffrey Boyd and Neil Dick, both kind of bad cars that surprisingly qualified very well in the top 10 for both of them. Row 6 is Madison Lockport and Angel Gutierrez for Ranger Gutierrez. That's a new team. Jeffrey Boyd is also in a new team, that being River Bend Racing. Anyways, row 7, that is Michael Parsons and Manuel Martin, not Ronnie Martin, Manuel Martin, who is brothers with Ronnie Martin. And in row 8, we got George Bryan and Junior Martin. He is related to the other Martins. I think he's Ronnie's son, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And Brian driving for Tulsa Race Car Engineering. That's a new team as well. David Stevenson and Samuel Levester, both familiar teams, given a second chance of life, if you will. So is Hector Garcia. New drivers, similar team. A lot of the smaller teams in RMS dropping down to the second series. And Jackson Ryder to his outside, a familiar name, making his return to stock car competition. Anthony McClure and Tsukamoto Kazuko, of course McClure being the son of Stephen McClure, given his first full-time opportunity. In this row, we got Dick Patrick and Murdoch Mercy. Dick Patrick, of course, a familiar name. Murdoch Mercy with the new team, Appalachia Motorsports. Brody Williamson and Carson Townsend in this row. We've gotten to know these two teams already, but new drivers in those rides. Okay. Bart Seiler with Core Sport, who moves down to the second series and opens up a second ride. And Riley Pearson in the Ranger Gutierrez 00. Maria Tago in the 51 had a heartbreaker earlier today. Lost in the duels, will not race in the 500, but will race today instead. And Larry Eagleton to her outside. In this row, we got Aaron Pulaski and a familiar team, that being Fallon Racing Team West from last year, and the 66 of Abby Buchanan. In this row, we got Taryn Zips and Nathan Buchanan, related to Abby. They kind of have a sibling rivalry with each other. Mark McDowell, familiar name and familiar number for him, and Carl Reynolds to his outside. And in this row, we got Colt Scott and teammate Lucien Reyes. Scott, a familiar name. Reyes, not so much, with a new team, Race Gaze. And in this row, we got Ricky Percat. He'll race in the 500 tomorrow. And to his outside is Burt Brayton, the oldest driver now in RMS ADS competition, being 74 years old. And on the final row, we got Alan Park and Logan Polarczyk.
Start your engines!
And well, that was perfect timing, getting through the starting lineup. The engines fire up, and for the first time, ADS will go racing. And the cars are now rolling. 42 drivers under the lights for the first time in Daytona history as well. Night racing. It's very exciting. The fans have packed the stands, getting ready to learn who these new drivers are and the future of RMS lies in the hands of most of these drivers, as Patrick Raven, Sally Patrick, the front row, ready to lead the field to green here soon. And I gotta restart.
Drivers,
Immense luck.
to your cars.
So anyways, as I said, we're getting ready to fire up the engines here. There the engines fire up. And the cars are now rolling. 42 of them. No DNQs. It's going to be a 42 car field for most of it, which should be interesting. It'll be a little bit more competitive than I would say RMS competition is for some of those smaller teams who, yes, they moved down to become more competitive, but still don't have quite the budget. As you see with the 9th and 10th drivers, both driving for not so good teams, but they somehow qualified in the top 10. Anyways, Patrick Raven, Sally Patrick, ready to take the field to green here, as the pace car will pull in. Raven, Sally Patrick under the lights, first time at Daytona, and the green flag is out. ADS is underway. And a pretty good start for Raven on the inside. Got a bit of a jump over Robert Phantom, but Patrick is going to try to fight back on the outside line. She really can't. And Raven's going to easily clear for the lead. Phantom trying to get second here. Has a bit of a run. Raven got too good of a start, I would say, and might be in trouble losing the lead here if Phantom can make a move quickly. Getting pushed by Scarrett. Peter on Jack. Scarrett's going to try to go for the lead. RMS Regular gonna try to take the lead for the first time and become the first leader here in ADS competition. Raven gets sent way up high to the high side and will drop back as a result. And Ryan Scarrett, an RMS regular, will come around to lead lap number 1. On Jack right behind him in second. Boyd in third, moving up. So is Madison Lockport and Michael Parsons, another regular, as we all know. A huge day for Ryan Scarrett as they fight for fourth behind. Phantom going to lose that battle. Down the backstretch. Oh, I think someone scraped the wall a bit behind. I think it might have been Kazuko a bit. I'm not sure. But anyways, getting a bit single-filed out front as Boyd is trying to go for second. As they're mostly 3 wide behind, but mostly single-file here. Parsons trying to get clear of Sally Patrick. On the inside, Madison Lockport trying to get second place here, making moves. Drag race to the line. Boyd barely beat her out, and Lockport might go for the lead here if she has a big enough of a run, and she does. Side by side. Scarrett does have plenty of help on the outside line, so it's going to be a battle here for a bit, but I think Lockport might win this battle. Depends on what happens on the backstretch here. I think Scarrett might be able to re-clear. As they head down the backstretch, Parsons being aggressive, trying to make it 3 wide. He does have room. They're still side by side for the lead. Lockport can't quite get clear of Scarrett here, despite having the advantage on the inside through the corners, as they're 3 by 3 behind. And coming into the trial, well, Madison Lockport is going to lead a lap. And that's our first lead change of the race, besides lap number 1. That doesn't really count. Still side by side here. Scarrett's still fighting, but he's going to finally lose that battle. And Madison Lockport gets clear. And not quite still. Scarrett is really fighting on the high side. But I think Lockport might be in trouble here. Parsons doesn't have enough of a run there. I thought she might have gotten a bit of trouble going into the middle lane there as they continue to battle for the lead. This is very, very different from what usually happens here at Daytona. You know, how a car has the inside lane. They usually have the advantage, but Scarrett is making the outside line work with all the help from behind. As we're 5 laps in so far. Lockport still trying to get clear, side drafting a bit. And now we're back to double wide racing for the most part. 3 wide, not really a thing anymore so far. And as I say that, looks like a Junior Martin is going to get stuck on the high side there, and we got a bit of 3 wide action again. Looks like Scarrett might be able to clear again for the lead, and he will. That inside line kind of broke up a bit, and that's going to allow Scarrett, who had been fighting with Lockport for a couple laps, to get the lead back to himself. And he's starting to look like a favorite to win. Nobody has lost the pack just yet. Everybody's still here at the front. Phantom, huge run on the high side. Scarrett blocks. Parsons continuing to look low, looking for some room or something to get around Lockport. Try to make it an RMS regular 1-2. As Scarrett heads down the backstretch, goes up to the high side, blocking Phantom. They make moves behind. And Phantom's going to try to take the lead for himself. Moves down to the inside. Crossover move. Got room underneath the 49. Robert Phantom. They call him the Phantom. He just comes out of nowhere and somehow grabs the lead. And I think he's going to get clear of Scarrett. Yes, he is. So a new leader here, Robert Phantom. And he's going to lead a lap. And we're almost 10 laps into this as Lockport still competing. Scarrett tried to get down to the inside of Phantom, but he blocked pretty well there. Onjak's going to get a run on the high side and clear his teammate, I believe, for third. Seems like the drivers on the high side get a really good run into turn 1 and are able to clear the drivers on the inside, which is pretty different from how it usually is, as it gets a bit single plowed once again. Parsons fighting with Jeffrey Boyd. Boyd really impressing me with how bad that team is usually. Onjak, well, not usually, but like on paper, that team is very much underfunded. That's one of the only sponsored race car, but I mean, well, the 71 is sponsored by Publix, but only for the 2 Florida races we have this year, and then for the rest of the year, it'll usually be sponsorless. As and look at the rear of the field, still nobody has lost the pack just yet, but a couple slower drivers here. As Onjak might be looking for the lead here soon. 3 wide behind once again. A little bit of 3 wide action. That didn't quite last long. And Lockport's trying to get second over her teammate, just like what Onjak did the prior lap. It's going to allow Phantom to lead another lap. They can't. It's like Duel 2 early. They kept fighting for second all this time, and it really allowed Mark Guerrero to lead a ton of laps, and that's going to allow Phantom to do the same thing so far. Teammates trying to work together, maybe to try to stop that from happening, but Onjak's in trouble. Michael Parsons on his inside, so is Kyler Sistry as well. The regulars really being competitive here, which is probably not a shock to anybody. Those are some really good teams, and of course they're going to be really good in the second series now. Here comes Lockport for the lead again. Trying to lead another lap. Madison Lockport, the 58, has a bit of an advantage. They're both kind of setting ducks right now currently, but Lockport will have the advantage as the inside line is a bit closer to her, and she's going to clear this time. Unlike what happened with Scarrett, although I might have been too early saying that, now she's officially clear. And she's going to block Phantom, and now she's back out front. Lockport. New leader. Parsons is going to... That's going to allow Parsons to move up a bit into second place if he can clear Phantom. And it looks like that will be the case. Michael Parsons, Kyra Sistry. Sistry chosen for the plate tracks because he's really good at Talladega. And maybe not so good at Daytona, but still, you never know what could happen. As they continue to make moves behind, Hector Garcia went from the high side to the low side back there. And yeah, you can see some of these drivers on the inside check up a bit. 30 laps to go. These are usually pretty short races, as to be expected. Still making moves behind. I'm surprised nobody has been aggressive enough to go 4 wide yet, considering the inexperience and all. They've gone 3 wide a lot. They've gone 3 wide a lot. Still nobody has lost the pack. But Carson Townsend really really not doing so well so far. Been last for most of this race. And it seems like it's a bit harder to pass too under the lights. Phantom trying to go for the lead once again. I mean, we keep having lead changes, but I mean, most of the time you see a lot of changes in position over time in Daytona usually, but today not so much. It's been more calm. They've tried to stay clean for the most part. And they keep moving lanes up and down, trying to make something happen. Hasn't really worked out, it seems like, but Phantom trying to get the lead once again. Gonna be a drag race to the line here, maybe. Lockport could have the advantage here on the outside into the tri-oval. Gonna be close, coming to the line. Not quite close enough. Phantom will easily lead the lap. Not as close as I thought it would be, but still. Very exciting stuff here, of course, from Daytona, as they're once again double-filed again throughout the pack. Lockport's gonna get a run here on the outside. Just like what happened with Scarrett, they kind of checked up on the outside and now inside, excuse me, and now Phantom has no help. Sistri moved up to the high side and completely abandoned the 07, and that's going to allow Lockport to get the lead all to herself once again. And they're really being aggressive behind. You see a lot of 3 wide, almost 4 wide, somewhat. A lot calmer out front. As Lockport will lead another lap. Phantom trying to close in. Not really much change in the top 5 here so far, like I said. Phantom just barely cleared Sistri there. As the top 2 kind of pull away a bit here. As they head down the back stretch once again. Continuing to make moves from the high side to the low side. The other drivers trying to make something happen. Stevenson is making something happen currently. David Stevenson, as Phantom's trying to go for the lead again. Perfect move on Lockport. And she has no help on the outside. Onjek is trying to make something happen. Tried to move up a bit. Kind of ran out of time there. And Parsons might lead this lap. Drag race to the line. Oh, so close. Phantom just barely led it. And now Parsons might have the advantage here. Unless he gives room to Onjek, which he does not. But Phantom is going to get the run off the high side. And looks like he's going to retake his lead. If he gets enough help, the outside line isn't really that formed right now, but yeah, he'll clear Parsons, and Parsons will fill the hole right between him and Lockport there. So it's working out pretty well for Phantom so far. The 07 machine is looking like one of the best cars on the racetrack right now. Blake Madison, Lockport, and Ryan Scarrett. As here comes Phantom around to lead another lap. Got 25 laps to go now. And we should have pit stops here in this race as Parsons is trying to go for the lead. He has room on the inside. Phantom has no help on the outside right now. Lockport and Scarrett, they're too far behind, and Parsons should easily get the lead, but Phantom is fighting back. And he's going to get some help thanks to Sistri, and Onjek is going to go away from Parsons. We might be 3 wide for the lead here. No, not quite. Onjek didn't have enough of a run. Almost 4 wide there for a second as they were starting to split up into packs a bit. And it looks like we're going to have pit stops here. Here comes Onjek and a bunch of other drivers. Whoa, Phantom. And so pit stops are on right now. Oh. Looks like a bit of a mess on pit road as these drivers try to figure out how to do a pit stop. Oh, almost stack-ups everywhere you see. But yeah, a lot of drivers on pit road this time. Oh, and that's Patrick Raven with front-end damage. And you saw all those stack-ups, and it's going to affect the pole sitter as Phantom completes his pit stop. And I wouldn't imagine that the leaders will be coming in here soon. Parsons way out front here. And he looks like he's going to head to pit road. Yes, he is. And will Lockport do the same behind? Yes, she will. And the only one staying out this time is Levester, it seems like. Samuel Levester will stay out. And he's the only car staying out, and I'm not sure why he's doing that strategy. That's not a smart strategy. because you're the only car on the racetrack and you have no help. As everybody looks like they're getting tires here. Phantom way up front. He had a good pit stop, but now has no help behind him, which will affect him, as Parsons will easily win the race off of pit road. And Phantom is not really close behind. Jackson Ryder, good pit stop, moves up a couple positions. And here comes Phantom and a couple other drivers on Jack Stevenson. Samuel Levester will make his pit stop, and he is going to be in trouble. Phantom looks like he's going to try to beat Parsons off of pit road here, and he will do that. Parsons not quite up to speed just yet, and this is now really separated. Everybody's really separated right now. Nobody really is formed into a pack right now. And there's Raven trying to make something happen despite the front end damage. Might be a bit slower, and it might hold up Gray Sacks here for a second. Oh, Parsons is really slow getting up to speed. Kind of holding up everybody. Does he have something wrong with his car? No, it doesn't look like it. As Phantom will easily blow by Samuel Levester. And now this field is really spread apart. Yeah, everybody's going to easily blow by Levester. I'm not sure why he stayed out another lap. That strategy, I don't think, is going to work out for him pretty well. Stevenson looking for the lead here, but nobody is coming to help him. Theoretically, he could get the lead if the inside line advantage works. As he does have a run on the inside, but Phantom does have help from OnJack. As that front pack is really far ahead of the second pack so far, trying to form up and do something. Phantom will lead a lap once again. And so far we're clean through almost 20 laps here. No cautions so far. Now, I don't think it really helps the second pack that they're not really single file right now. Seiler looks like he's currently in last. Yes, he is. And McClure looks like he had a bad pit stop. Some of these drivers also look like they had bad pit stops. Gutierrez has damage. There's a big pack formed up here. But the field is so far spread out. There goes OnJack for the lead, helped by Stevenson. And Peter OnJack, I think, is going to lead for the first time today. But Stevenson has other ideas, trying to make something happen in this small three-car pack. Phantom with help. But he's going to move up to the high side. And not really helping. I think the second pack is closing in somewhat. Because there's more cars in that pack. Theoretically, they should close up more. As now we're halfway through this race. Stevenson making moves. Blocking OnJack. Phantom might have a chance here on the inside, but I don't think he's going to have a run. So Stevenson will easily block, and OnJack looks like he'll fall back to third. Looks like no sign of lap traffic so far, except for Bart way up ahead in turn 3. Single file here for the second pack, which should work to their advantage. Let's see the distance. Yep, they closed up a bit. They closed up a bit some more. But now the front pack is also single filed out. As Stevenson starting to lead more laps here. Sustry, Parsons working together. Dick Patrick also a part of this pack. And they're really formed up back here, this third pack, but they're so far back they really can't gain. And it's kind of joining up with the fourth pack behind. Everybody is mostly in a pack so far, as Phantom gets shuffled out. OnJack trying to clear for second, he will. And yeah, that second pack is closing. I wouldn't be surprised if they close up in the last moments of the race. Well, I mean, there's still a long way to go. And they didn't really gain as much as that last lap, as Parsons is trying to get in front of the 50, not the 50, the 5, but can't really clear. And Stevenson continues to dominate. Looks like these three are just trying to play it safe. But Phantom has other ideas, trying to make something happen on the inside. He's trying to make moves. He has a really good race car underneath him right now. And I can't blame him if he wants the win. He has a really good race car. He's been Fast all day. Meanwhile, Sustry continues to lead this pack. Parsons still trying to get around him. He just can't. And they lost time that time. I'm like choking on my own spit here. But okay, I'm good. But yeah, they lost time that time because they keep battling with each other. Meanwhile, the top three just are single file right now. As Parsons is trying to get around Sustry here, but he cannot do that. He just cannot get clear of the 5, no matter how hard he tries. And now Sustry has help from Jackson right on the high side. Coming up on 15 laps to go. Closing in on Bart Seiler, who has completely lost the pack. Gutierrez, looks like that damage from pit road is really affecting him. As we go through most of the field, Madison Lockport looks like she had a terrible pit stop. Was very competitive for the early part of this race. Jeffrey Boyd as well. Very unfortunate for him. Looks like Sally Patrick also had a slow stop. Raven trying to hang in. And this is a really big third pack. And I think the pit strategy has kind of worked out for Samuel Levester. He's been able to stay in front of that third pack. And man, they're really getting spread out here out front. Stevenson still leading. On Jack looking for a run here. And he does have help from Phantom. Phantom's kind of moving down. Oh, and Seiler might get in the way here soon. Phantom trying to move down to the inside. He has no room. Oh, they might be in trouble. The inside line might be in trouble. They are. But that's going to allow Stevenson to pull away. But that's trouble for Stevenson. He's now a set and duck with 15 laps to go. And that's going to allow the second pack to close in as well. If they can easily get around Bart Seiler here, I would say they have a good chance at winning. As Phantom still trying to get around on Jack. Frustration out of the 07 camp right now. Next slap car is probably Gutierrez here, who is really off the pace right now. And yeah, that second pack is going to get slowed up big time. Seiler just not getting out of the way and not helping anybody. He's going to block both lanes. Oh, the driver's got to be frustrated with that. They were closing in big time thanks to his help, and now they're hurting him. And now he's hurting them. So Dick Patrick is going to get away. Sustry is going to be the biggest one slowed up by the 88. And yeah, you see those two. They're closing in quickly on Stevenson. Not sure what Stevenson is going to do here. On Jack looking for some room on the inside. Has a run. No room. Stevenson kind of blocked him there. Gutierrez really seems slow with that side damage. And the second pack finally got through Bart. But Sustry might fall out of the second pack right now because of how much he got held up. And the front pack is all grouped together again, so that's going to help to their advantage. Dick Patrick, they're closing in, I feel like, but not closing in fast enough. As they head down the back stretch, you can see the bigger pack behind. They're probably going to get slowed up by Seiler here soon. And I'm surprised that bigger pack isn't really doing anything. Is it 51? Am I done? No. Timing is a bit off. Stevenson still leading. And nobody has been able to compete with him right now. Through these last couple laps, he has led most of this little run here. And none of the packs are really closing in on each other. And that's because the front pack is single file. Second pack is now single filed as well, but they're just not as fast. And I wonder why that's the case. We might have pit stops here at the end of the race, I think. Some of the testing races I did have had that. Jack has a bit of a run here out of turn 4, but he just... The fact that there's only 3 cars in this pack is just not very helpful to him. And he can't really take advantage of that. Coming up on 10 laps to go. Gutierrez has lost the pack. Townsend has lost the pack. These three have lost the pack as they're 3 wide behind. Raven continues to lose positions, probably because of the front end damage. He's just trying to hang on as much as he can. Phantom trying to make a move to the inside. And that looks like it's going to work, so we're going to get a change in setup here, maybe. That's just going to allow Stevenson to keep his lead. 10 laps to go coming up. David Stevenson trying to win the first ever Autozone Developmental Series race. And Phantom's going to clear behind. Second pack didn't really gain any time. They lost time once again, even though they're single file, and they were 2 wide there for a second. So far, still no cautions, still no problems. We might go green to the end, folks. It's just been a very clean race, which is shocking because most of these drivers are rookies and they don't really have experience at Daytona. Andrzej's trying to get his second place back. Not sure why he's trying to do that. Instead of helping each other try to fight for the lead. And yeah, you can see that second pack, they're 2 wide as well. That's not going to help them either. Looks like Neil Dick is going to move up into the top 10. Oh, and it looks like Zips is going to head to pit road here. So we might have pit stops here coming to the end. Unless Zips has an issue. No, that's a scheduled stop. Taryn Zips looks like he's the first to go onto pit road. Along with, who is that? Carl Reynolds also heading down pit road. So it might be the early stages of our final pit stop today. Will the leaders come in this time by? And it looks like that is a yes. Here they come. A lot of the leaders coming in, but some of the second pack staying out. Parsons, Jackson Ryder, and Power Sustry, they're staying out. As here comes the money stop, the most important pit stop of the race. Yeah, everybody's coming down pit road this time. A lot of drivers, though, also staying out. Seems like they're trying to pick up track positions and hope for maybe a caution here. I don't think that's going to happen. Ryder now the leader. Looks like Brody Williamson got damage of his own there. And it looks like, I think Brian is going to win the race off of pit road. Great pit stop by George Bryan. If that's the most important stop of the race, he might have just grabbed the lead when these pit cycles are done. So I imagine most of these drivers are going to come in this time by. And it looks like, yes, that is a case. Most of the front pack is in. Looks like Jackson Ryder just tried. Where's Parsons? Did he stay out? Not sure where the the 6 machine is. He stayed out for another lap. Interesting strategy by Michael Parsons. And I think he's the last driver to not pit yet. He's probably going to have to come in this time by. And it looks like he will. He will come in this time by. These drivers are completing their pit stops here. Where is Ryder? Just try beat him out of pit road. Oh, trouble. Carl Reynolds blows up. Yellow. Near the end of the race. That's going to shuffle up everything. I think it starts with, it almost started with Junior Martin, I believe. Almost. But then further behind, it's Brayton, I believe. No, it's more like yes, it's more Brayton, and then the 03 piles in, and that sends Phantom around. And then there's a bunch of cars here. I wonder, did they cross the line? They had to, but they were trying to slow down. But then there's the 07 around. And maybe the slowdown little area for this track is a bit different. So everybody's just kind of piling in here at kind of full speed, especially Gray Sachs, who I think just came off a pit road and is trying to get back up to speed. Levester gets hit there by Phantom and then hard hit by Gray Sex. It's just so weird. You never see stack-ups here at Daytona. So after whatever just happened, we had a caution come out, and then there was a stack-up and a bunch of drivers piled in. And so now, Michael Parsons has the lead, who went to pit road as a caution was flying. So the 6 now currently leads. Scared in second. Alan Park in third somehow. Tyler Sustry, Ricky Percat. This field has been completely shuffled up and flipped on its head. Nathan Buchanan, Murdoch Mercy, teammates. Madison Lockport is back in it. Larry Eagleton, Samuel Levester, who had the lead but had to pit, I think, to repair damage. And I got 2 slower cars that are tail end of the lead lap. Now this is going to be a very interesting finish. Oh yeah, Phantom got screwed as well during that stack-up, which we will get a replay after this race is done. So anyways, it's going to be a 2-lap shootout here at Daytona. There's about 33 cars left in the race. No, wait. I don't know. I'm just confused about everything right now. That weird stack up and everything else. But anyways, Michael Parsons with the lead right now. And green flag is back out. And it looks like, the 17 might be really slow. And Parsons trying to get around Raven, but he's going to get held up. Sustry trying to make moves behind. And both lanes are going to be held up, I think, because Gutierrez is also stuck on the high side. Nothing's really happening right now on this restart. Mostly everybody stays single file. Scarrett's going to try to make something on the outside line happen, but I think he's going to get held up by Gutierrez. Making moves everywhere now, down the backstretch, and now Scarrett's going to get held up by Raven. So is Rick Parsons, and Scarrett's going to be kicked out all the way to the high side. As they come around turn 4, Michael Parsons will see the white flag. If he just gets clear of the 93, he might be home free here. Mostly stringing up behind, 3 wide behind. White flag, 1 lap to go. Buchanan trying to make something happen. Here comes Sustry. Does he have a run? No, he does not. Murdoch Mercy now getting held up by Gutierrez as the top 2 kind of pull away here. And Michael Parsons might just pull a rabbit out of a hat and somehow win this. As he comes out of turn 4, Michael Parsons, unless Sustry has a huge run here, he might, but he's going to move down to the inside. Does he have enough? Is it too late? Drag race to the line. The regulars. Oh, what a finish. And it's going to be Michael Parsons hanging on by just a thread to win the first ever race in ADS history. A pretty weird and wild finish to this one. Ends in a photo finish. So there you see Michael Parsons celebrating the first ever ADS win at Daytona. And a weird and wacky finish that has seen everybody have many questions about what just happened. But either way, a pretty solid race. Thank you all for watching this ADS replay. And I'll see you next week for, hey, we're staying in Florida. We're heading to Homestead, a brand new 1.5 mile racetrack. I'll see you there for that. Goodbye!